Imagine being at the wrong place at the wrong time and finding yourself convicted of murder. What if the sentence was life? Would you roll over and give up? Or keep fighting and writing appeals? Would you fight and try to escape, even if that meant becoming labeled as a fugitive for the rest of your life? We watch as these questions are played out on screen in the movie Life. This is one of my all time favorite movies because not only is it a comedic sensation, but it brings attention to the very real subject of mass incarceration and wrongful conviction in the US. Today, I will give you a description of the movie Life and my personal evaluation of the film. This movie is a crime, comedy, and drama all wrapped into one. It's set out in 1932, where the two main characters, Ray Gibson, played by Eddie Murphy, and Claude Banks, played by Martin Lawrence, find themselves in a horrible situation when they are wrongfully convicted of murder.
Life? No! What the hell you mean? Like, hell no, I ain't doing no life. I'm going back to myself. It's a myth.
Names such as Bernie Mac, Anthony Anderson, Rick James, and many others. It starts out with the two, respectively, having a night out on the town and being brought in to a crime boss who they owe a debt to and decide to team up to pay that debt and have their lives spared. On their journey to Mississippi to bootleg some hooch for that crime boss, they end up losing the remaining amount of their gas money and Ray's watch that was given to him by his deceased father in a rigged poker game. While walking down an alley to find that cheat, the body of the cheat falls on them, covering them with blood, and they're confronted by some patrollers who ultimately send them to jail and they are convicted of murder and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The two are baffled and go on many misadventures as they try to survive in a maximum state penitentiary as first timers surrounded by killers.
Oh, you been in here. What you do?
Somebody shot your sister in the head with that. She was my half sister, so I cut her ass in half. At least I ain't the one who poisoned my own mom and pa. Now, tell that. Tell that.
Continuous friendship is born of survival and the shared tragedy of, of wrongful conviction. They never give up and they keep trying to escape their horrible situation year after year for decades through their incarceration. They add a change of pace to the facility and some optimism to those other inmates that surround them.
He's a king size papa. He's my king size.
Sing, girl.
I take the door off the hinges when my baby comes to call.
That's right, fellas. Catch any cab heading uptown because all the drivers know about Ray's Boom Boom.
Now that you know what the movie Life was about, I'd like to focus on my evaluation of the film. I feel that the movie had a very strong plot and that it had lots of twists and turns, even as they depicted the characters' development and the world changing around them as their world stood still. You become emotionally invested in these characters ultimately getting free and achieving their dreams and goals. I like the fact that it wasn't just one particular person's story, but many people's story as it dealt with wrongful conviction and mass incarceration of people of color within the United States. The movie was humbling and grounding, and it made you think about what these other people's stories were and how they would progress. You see that some people were institutionalized and never wanted to leave the prison because they couldn't adjust back to the world that they had left. Others had lost so much and so many that they had nothing to return home to. This film was researched and provided accurate depictions of the prison itself in Mississippi that they were filming in, as well as the lives and stories of some of the inmates that they interviewed. The actors put on the performances of a lifetime and embodied the characters that they played. It made you feel that the movie was real and you connected to each individual person. The movie was authentic and unique, as well as iconic for its decade. I've given you a brief description of this film, and my personal evaluation. Not only was it lighthearted, but it found a way to be entertaining despite the dreary subject of wrongful conviction and mass incarceration. If there's one thing that this movie taught me, it was to that it's never too late to start living because you never know when that calendar day will be removed.